Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer 40k boarding actions. Now, this is a new way to play Warhammer 40k that is coming out alongside the Arcs of Omen books. Now, in this video, we're going to take a look at the Adeptus Custodes army, and in particular, the Adeptus Custodes themselves from that army book. Now, in this video, we're going to go through, talk about how mustering a boarding action for the Adeptus Custodes. It's a little bit different than normal. Every army has their own sort of special alignments and special rules they can use, while also talking about the rules adaptations for the army as well. We'll then look at a couple of units we recommend to get started with for the faction before looking at some other units we can use to expand upon the initial purchases. We'll finally finish off the video with a little sample army of 500 points for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own boarding action force for the Adeptus Custodes in Warhammer 40k. And so, with that said, mustering a boarding action for the Adeptus Custodes. Standard or shield host units in your boarding patrol must share the same shield host. There's no playing multiple different detachments. You can include up to one fast attack slot. Normally you can only include, your elite troops, 3 of each, and your HQ slot. But you can include that fast attack slot, but it can only be a Witch Seeker unit, which is the Anathema Sarcana, the Sisters of Silence fast attack choice. Now, this rule applies to both Custodian Wardens and Armulus Custodians. You can include Custodian Wardens unit and Armulus Custodians if their starting strength is 3 or 6 models. When forming boarding squads, if a Custodian Warden or Armulus Custodian unit is 6 models strong, you simply split it into 2 boarding parties of 3 models. Now, you can only include the Knight Centurion, the character for the Sisters of Silence, if your boarding patrol detachment includes at least one other Anathema Sarcana unit. And you cannot upgrade a model in your army to have the Unstoppable Destroyer Captain Commander ability. Rules adaptations wise for the force, this is mostly to do with Anathema Sarcana, but we'll mention it here anyway. When a Psychic unit takes a Psychic test, the total is only affected by units with the Daughters of the Abyss rule that are visible to the Psychic unit. So Anathema Sarcana only affects stuff they're visible to. Last thing is to note that Trajan Valoris' Captain General rule does not allow him to gain any enhancements. And so, where to start? I think a Blade Champion is a perfect place to start. For me, this is the HQ option I'd almost always be picking with my Adeptus Custodes. He's combat focused, going to do absolutely amazing in boarding actions. So we've got, weapon skill with a skill 2+, strength and toughness 5, 7 wounds, and a 3-up save. His Vault Swords allow him to select a variety of different profiles based on what he's fighting. You can go for the Behemoth, which is +2 strength, -4 AP, damage 2, and each time it's made against a monster or vehicle and a modified hit roll of a 4+ automatically wounds. Not going to be as useful against some of the other things that are going to be fighting in boarding actions, considering vehicles aren't going to be in the thing. But he could go with Hurricanus, which I think will be one of the most effective ones. Strength user, so strength 5, -1 AP, damage 1, but each time he attacks, he makes 2 hit rolls instead of 1, bumping up to 14 attacks. Then he has Victus as well, where +1 strength, -4 AP, damage 3. Each time this weapon's profile is used against a character unit, you can re-roll the wound roll, which is really cool. This is just going to allow you to get, a lot of damage into those enemy characters. He's got some cool abilities as well. His Consummate Swordsman ability allows each time a melee attack is made against him, a modified hit roll of a 1 to 3 always fails. He can't be hit on better than a 4+, and each time an ally attack is allocated to this model, you add 1 to his armor saving throw in melee, so he's got a 2-up save in combat. His Martial Inspiration, each time you select a friendly shield host, declares a charge against an enemy unit that is within engagement range of this unit. You add 1 to the charge roll made for that unit, so if he's already fighting, the Custodes get +1 to come charge next to him, which is pretty cool. And then his Legacy of Combat. At the start of the fight phase, if this model is within engagement range of any enemy units, he can fight first in that phase. This model is eligible to perform Heroic Intervention if he's within 6 inch horizontally. Vertically won't matter too much, but 5 inch vertically of any enemy unit. Each time this model makes a Heroic Intervention, so long as it ends as move closer to the closest enemy model or within engagement range of an enemy character, it can also move up to 6 inch. All other rules for Heroic Intervention still apply. So he can actually ignore the closest model and actually choose to go after characters, and he gets 6 inch move if he chooses to do so, which is really nice. Now, to go along with him, we have the nice elite choice, which are going to be the Custodian Wardens. Their big thing here is their Watchman ability. While a friendly shield host character is within 3 inch, the character can benefit from Lookout Sir rule even if that unit contains fewer than 3 models. So really nice stuff there, they can build up and protect him. The Binding Oaths, each time one of this unit would lose a wound on a 6, that wound is not lost. And then they've got your standard sort of loadout for Custodes. They can have Castellan Axes or Guardian Spears, which are really cool. And they can also have the Misericordias as well in there. And so let's look at where we can go next. And the first one that pops up, obviously, is the Custodian Guard. These are your standard custodians for the Force. You have the war gear options, so you can take Guardian Spears, Sentinel Blades, and the Misericordias on them, which are really cool. You can also take Predesium Shields as well to give +1 to your saving throws, which are really, really nice. So you've got, a nice wide variety of unit options. For me, just being able to take these larger size squads of the Custodians are really nice. Taking 5 models in a unit, solid stuff. They're just going to provide, with, numbers-ish, I guess, numbers for Custodians. But if we're looking at maybe another heavy-hitting unit, we could look at effectively what are the Custodian Terminators in the Armulus Custodians. A 2+ base save, they've got their Ballistus Grenade Launchers for Assault D3, Strength 5, -3 AP, Damage 1 Blast Weapons, which would be great against hordes in those halls. The Slayers of Tyrant Rule, each time the unit piles in or consolidates, each model in the unit can do so towards an enemy character instead of the closest model. And, they've got, Castellan Axes, which are really cool for +3 Strength, -2 AP, Damage 2. Guardian Spears in there as well. And, of course, they can take the Misericordias as well. But for me, these are just a nice, solid, powerful unit to bring to your table. If we're looking at some other units, we could definitely look at the upgrade sprues available from Forge World. And the first of these is Custodian Guards with Andesite and Pyrethite Spears. Now, this is, like I said, one of the upgrade sprues available from Forge World. The Pyrethite Spears have +1 Strength, -3 AP, Damage 2, and can also have a shooting attack of Assault 1, Strength 8, -4 AP, Damage D6. So these are pretty darn good. Each time an attack is made with a weapon and targets a unit within half range, the damage has a damage characteristic of D6 +2. So effectively carrying, like Melter Spears. And then the Andesite Spear is an Assault 1, Strength 5, -3 AP, Damage 3 weapon in shooting. Now, the other option is the Sagittarium Custodes as well. These are a dedicated shooting unit. So the Adrastus Bolt Cavaliers, which can have the Bolt Volley of Assault 3, Strength 5, -1 AP, Damage 2, or the Disintegration Beam of Assault 1, Strength 5, -3 AP, Damage 3. You select, before selecting targets, select one or both the profiles to make attacks with. If you select both, then each time an attack is made with a weapon this phase, subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll. So you can actually shoot both ways in the same turn, which is really cool. They also have Misericordias as well. They can all be equipped with them, just giving them, the ability to get some extra attacks out. Because each time you fight with a Misericordia, you actually get an additional attack with a weapon. So you're going to get, quite a few attacks out of this model in combat, though, not the greatest attacks. And so here we have our sample Armulus Boarding Patrol, 500 points for the Adeptus Custodes. Now, we have gone for the nice little Custodian Guard regiment of the Dread Host. For me, I really like this. First of all, trait 1 is each time I'm on this unit with this trait makes an attack that targets an enemy unit within 9 inch. The armor penetration characteristic of that attack is improved by 1. This goes for shooting or melee. And you can reroll charge models made for the units. Your Martial Kata is also the Dakatari, which means stance 1, you can get extra movement on your opponent. You stop them being able to move as much when they're in engagement range. And stance 2, or each time this unit fights, you can use the ability, and if it does, then until the fight resolves, you can add 1 to the attacks characteristic of models in this unit and change the damage characteristic of melee weapons they are equipped with to 1. So you can get some extra attacks and really help clear out hordes. Now, our Warlord is going to be the Blade Champion, and he's gone with the All-Seeing Annihilator Warlord trait. This is the one from the Dread Host. What this allows you, in your command phase, you can select this Warlord or a friendly Dread Host core unit within 6 inch of him. Until the start of the next command phase, each time a model in this unit makes an attack on a modified hit roll of a 6, scores an additional hit. The relic that we've gone for on this model is going to be the Eagle's Eye relic. This adds +1 to his wounds, but also once per battle before making a saving throw for the bearer can activate the Helm Sensorium Geist, and if it does so until the end of the phase, he has a 3-up invulnerable save, which is pretty cool. For troops, we've got a 5-man Custodian Guard squad. We've got 3 of them with Guardian Spears, 1 with Guardian Spear and Misericordia, and 1 with Sentinel Blade and Prodesium Shield in there. Elites-wise, 3 Custodian Wardians, all with Guardian Spears, round out our force here. Perfect 500 points and 24 power level if that's how you like to play your games. 25 is normally what I would recommend you go for a boarding action game with. But if you've got some plans and some ideas on your Custodians in boarding actions, let us know down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description. Also, down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, or by grabbing some merch from either Ko-fi or Teespring. All of these are the best ways to help support the channel, and it means the world to us that people do choose to help support us. Now, as a special thank you to everyone who supports the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Bloobs, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Kevin Bowman, Iron Grinch, and Nuffs. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weir, James South, Dave Crozier, Dylan Areno, and James Tillman. And lastly, a special thank you to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel you can see here, and indeed pick up the stickers of the amazing artwork or the amazing artwork on our merch as well if you want to. But thank you once again, everyone, and a special thanks as well to everyone who helps support the channel and to all those who come and help with the channel, be the people that come and do battle reports or indeed those that are managing our Discord server. Thank you all once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.